Welcome back to the Sheffield United career mode here on FIFA 23. We've just finished the January transfer window. We've just added to the squad with Harry Maguire, Christopher Ayer, Tijani Reinders, and obviously Gustavo Harmer joined us as that was a pre-arranged transfer. Speaking of pre-arranged transfers, we start with some devastating news. I've had an email. That email is from Manchester City, and they would like to sign Anel Ahmedhodzic. Now, we've had a look at City's squad, and it is likely, in fact, very likely, that he would start for them. He grows to 83 rated in 5 days' time. At centre-back, they have 90 rated Ruben Dias, 83 rated Manuel Akanji, and then Mbete and Harwood Bellis. So, having sold every other centre-back that they've got, Manchester City, they're looking to replace people like Laporte and John Stones, etc. And they're looking to replace them with my Arnell. Because he would be in their starting lineup, or at least very much on the fringes of. I think I have to do this. Now, it reckons that I could get up to 43.9. They've bid 32.5. I would be very apprehensive to accept anything under 40. He is the best centre-back we have at the club. He is the first name on the team sheet in the whole defensive line. And if they don't pay upwards of at least 30... I mean, we're in between windows. If they don't pay upwards of at least 38, then I am not selling him. I think I'm well within my rights. With us looking likely to get European football, they'll pay 40. Okay. He's going to go for £40 million. Bugger. At least it means that I now have £42 million in my budget, because we, of course, will factor in that when we move from season to season. What I might do, actually, in the meantime, between now and the end of the year, is just waste all of that remaining money, 46 million, just by burning through hiring and firing scouts, and just get rid of the Patreon money that way. That way we know exactly what budget we have is the budget we have. So that's probably what I'm going to do moving forward. For now, though, we have Aston Villa to begin today. Oh, hello. Scout reports on loads of centre-backs. Well, that's handy, isn't it? They were players we were looking at in the previous window. Now it looks like we might be looking at them in the next window too. We do have the Carabao Cup final today, but the main game I want to make sure we win is the FA Cup game against Burton, because I'm worried about our league position, and I think our best chance of getting a European spot this year may be by winning the FA Cup. But if we can beat Villa, we'll close into within a point of them. We'll be within 3 points of Arsenal, and at most 2 points of Spurs. So the chance for a Champions League spot via the league is actually still there. But with some difficult games remaining this season, it's not going to be straightforward. But we live in hope. But that hope for Champions League football might be Champions League football without Anel Ahmedhodzic. Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel. Let's try and make the most of Arnell whilst we have him. Aston Villa in the Champions League spots as it stands. Emi Martinez in goal for them. Callum Chambers, Diego Carlos, Pau Torres and Alex Moreno. The back line, John McGinn and Boubacar Kamara in midfield. Moussa Diaby on the right with Emil Smith-Rowe on the left. And then Geraldo Becker and Jesus Ferreira up top. It's not a massively impressive team, but they are solid enough. And in good areas, they're very good indeed. Their two centre-backs are obviously of decent quality. Moussa Diaby's 87 rated now, so he's certainly going to be a threat. And with Emil Smith-Rowe at 82 and Leon Bailey on the bench at 83, they have good players out wide in the 11 and to call on from the bench as well. So they're going to be dangerous going forward, and they're going to be hard to break down going the other way. He says, as we take a 1-0 lead with the first shot of the game in the 4th minute. Up the blades! 1-0 Sheffield United. Ollie McBurney arrives just in time. Geraldo Becker. He scored against us last time we played Villa, didn't he? On a counter-attack breakaway with that pace he's got in the locker. Here's John McGinn finding Becker. Could wind up for a shot here. He's played in Moussa Diaby. He certainly wound up for the shot, but that shot was blocked quite comfortably. Moussa Diaby is a player that impressed in the Bundesliga in real life, and since arriving in the Premier League, has impressed here too in real life since joining from Bayer Leverkusen. I think I said in real life too many times there. John McGinn from the corner. Caught, but no foul given. Trying to get the ball back here with Oxlade-Chamberlain, which we haven't been able to do. Jesus Ferreira with the ball roll one way and the ball roll the other, and Vinny Souza says, "You shall not pass!" Switcheroony, oh dear. Jump! Oh, to be fair, he gave it his best effort. I'll give you that, Jaden Bogle. Thank you very much. 10 out of 10 for effort. He might have broken his back in trying to do so. Into Tiani Reinders. Ooh, he's right-footed Reinders, but wasn't a bad shot. It's Tijani, not Tiani, so I need to remember that. Tijani Reinders. Good cross. Harry's up. Oh, Slabhead doesn't get there. Tuber will cut this back. And Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain will deliver again, which he's done well. And Ferreira wins that header. And I can't get to the ball this time. Since the goal went in, which was like 4 minutes, Moussa Diaby had one effort. And then neither goalkeepers really had much to do till that Rangers effort that led to the corner. Slow half, I think. Well in, Vinny. Oh, there's a press coming. I should have maybe just gone back to the keeper. Becker to Ferreira. I really should have gone back to the keeper, shouldn't I? Yep. Jesus Ferreira equalises for Aston Villa. He punishes for the mistake. Vinny Souza wins it back very well, but then delays in playing the pass or figuring out what the hell to do with the football. And I got my pocket picked. Not lose the ball. Oh, lovely shot turn by Tijani Reinders. And the outside the boot pass is delicious too. I love that. And two Bratpoms in the middle. And around the corner here is Max Lowe. The left back restores our advantage. We're in front again at Villa Park. That was a brilliant move. The defender wasn't sure whether to close down Chuba or not. By that indecision, he left more space for Chuba than he knew what to do with. Didn't know whether to turn and pass it or get the ball under control and then shoot. In the end, turn and pass is what we did. Right decision. Max Lowe. I am very much thinking I'm going to replace him in the summer. But by selling Lagoussi and having Max Lowe as my backup left back and signing someone that's better for the first team, so Lowe would still be at the club and a squad player, but not in my 11. But he's certainly offering something to me still. His first goal of the season in the Premier League, and maybe even his first goal of the save. Which, considering we play with high wing backs, is perhaps a little bit disappointing that... Oh, that's over the bar. It's perhaps a little bit disappointing I don't get as many goals with Lowe and Jaden Bogle, a la Reece James or Trent or old school Seamus Coleman. I should maybe be grabbing the occasional goal with my fullbacks a bit more regularly. Well, there's no need to rush it. We have the advantage and there's not long left. And that advantage might be being even bigger sooner rather than later. Tijani Reinders scored a couple of goals in a sim yesterday and now scores from open play in a played game as well. He's well and truly arrived at Sheffield United, hasn't he? And we might be well and truly arriving in the top 4 sooner rather than later. 3-1 against Villa. Final whistle's about to sound. Aston Villa have been conquered on their own patch. That's a great way to start, with Tottenham to come next and then Manchester City in the Carabao Cup final. It is only going to get more difficult than that for the rest of the day, but we certainly held our own there in that one. Very pleased with the result and the manner in which we got it. And what it does for our league title, or league campaigns, not league title campaign, but top 4 campaign, certainly. Up next, Spurs. Now, last time we played them, Heung-min Son got sent off and we smacked them 6-2. I don't think that's going to happen twice. Contract signed. Transfer confirmed. We get an A rating for it. We've maximised the potential profits from that deal. Nearly. It says best possible deal, 42.8. Well, I asked for 42.5 and they said no, so I don't think I could have gotten 42.8. Do you? Tottenham Hotspur lineup as follows. Alex Ramiro in goal. Porro, Joe Gomez, Kimpembe, Romero, Udogi. Florian Wirtz alongside Joshua Kimmich. And then a front 3 of Kulusevski, Harry Kane and Heung-min Son. Joshua Kimmich and Florian Wirtz, obviously recent arrivals, both particularly talented. It's going to be a very decent midfield for Tottenham. We say that we battered them with 10 men, but we were already winning when they went down to 10. I think it was 2-0 to us when they went down to 10. Then the 10 men pulled it back to 2-1, and then we just ran riot. So it almost gives you a false impression of the previous result. It makes you think, oh, we only won because they had 10 men. When actually, even when it was 11v11, we were the better side and we were comfortably in front. And that was on their patch as well. So let's see what we can do back at home. Although the conditions certainly will make things a little bit more difficult here. Quite snowy in South Yorkshire today, as you can quite clearly see. That's nicely into Kulusevski on his left foot. You thought it was only going to end one way. It did end that way, but only thanks to the rebound off his head that has somehow, about half a mile an hour, looped over Dean Henderson and Tottenham lead. That was awkward. Good turn of pace, good strike, decent save, and then that header is just absolute perfection. Tottenham lead by a goal to 0. Nice interception by Arnell. I'm sorry, was that Joshua Kimmich? Because that was disgusting. Harry Kane can't finish. Unbelievable tackle that. Arnell puts in a great interception and I think, I'm in. I wasn't. They were. Harry Kane should have made that too. Kulusevski still being a pain in my arse. Low. Nicely done by Chamberlain. Ep10. It's gone again. Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. McBurney's in a good position here and he's gotten away from the defender. Ollie McBurney finds a very, very big Alex Ramiro stood in his way. That was a brilliant save. Into Bogle. Spurs are another one of the sides around the top 4 that really we could do with beating, or at least not losing to. More importantly, the win against Villa was massive, but I think avoiding defeat to Tottenham is probably more important than ensuring we got the victory against Villa. Over the course of the full season, Tottenham, you imagine, going to be the side that put together the best run of form and end with a higher points tally. McBurney, Kimpembe leaps in. Right, it's H on H. My H comes away with it. Reinders to Low. I go back to Reinders. I'm going to go into Chuba Ep10. This time he has managed to turn onto his right foot and force the save from the keeper. Yellow card for Harry Kane for sliding in on Harry Maguire. Find Christophe Rayer though. Inside is Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain. He messed up with the pass earlier on. He's done so again here. Oh, Alex! Well in. He's recovered himself. And he sows us in a lot of space here. Touch is pretty dead though. Finds Chuba Ep10 with the pass. Tajani. Oxlade-Chamberlain. Chuba Ep10. Find the space. You can't pass it. There's literally no one to go to. Shot blocked by the defence. And Tottenham look like they're going to hold on here. They are going to have their revenge. Not quite such a strong scoreline, but 3 points nonetheless to extend their advantage above us in the Premier League table. Is he going to give a pen? Oh, he's just trying to block the shot, ref! I can't believe it. I'm just stepping in to try and block the shot. Harry Kane's up for the pen. Well, he normally goes bottom left. So let's go bottom left, top right. Couldn't have been more opposite. 2-0 Tottenham. They'll get the win. We'll lick our wounds, but we have to go to Wembley for the Carabao Cup final next. Manchester City arrive at Wembley with Ederson in goal, Davide Calabria at right back, Manuel Akanji, Ruben Dias and Joao Cancelo, the rest of their defensive line. Midfield is very strong, Rodri, De Bruyne and Silva, and new signing Rodrigo on the right-hand side for Manchester City. Obviously, Arnell is going to be joining them next year, but can he join them having beaten them at Wembley and maybe have a little bit of ego to go into the Manchester City dressing room with? Be like, hey, we beat you boys. Come on then, what have you got about you? I wonder if they're going to put, because we're supposed to get 5 Champions League spots in the Premier League next year, aren't we? Or this year in real life. So I'm wondering in FC24 whether there will be 5 spots in the Premier League for the Champions League. I'm not sure what the situation is with that in real life. I don't really pay too much attention to top flight football in that regard. I'll watch it when it's on and I'll keep up with it on social media, etc. But obviously Cambridge United is at the forefront of my mind when it comes to real-life football. So when it comes to things like, oh, updated Champions League spots, I'm like, I don't know. You don't get Champions League in League One. I thought I could get there. Foden will look for Haaland again. Harry's busting a gut. I could have gone steaming in Sol Campbell style. Elected against it. Haaland onside here. Cross blocked by Bogle. It'll be a Manchester City throw. It's definitely one-way action so far. City with their eyes on a treble, of course. With, the Premier League battle still very much at the forefront of their minds. But we're trying to win some silverware for Sheffield United for the first time since I don't know when. I'd have to Google it. Foden. Phil Foden's agility and balance is second to none. He really is Messi-esque in game, isn't he? Phil Foden. Wes Foderingham in goal for me, making another save to keep Manchester City out. He's been in a lot of action so far, Wes Foderingham, and you can tell from our reactions. I am not enjoying this. I am under pressure continuously. Tijani's close control is really good. He's actually really genuinely got the potential to be the Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain replacement in this 11 with his creativity. There's some space here. Oh, get out of each other's way, will you, lads? Tijani Reyners. And Chuba Akpom. Sorry, Phil. I've definitely flattened you there. That'll be a yellow card. It was genuinely in. The City backline had, for the first time, properly opened up. And we got in each other's way in our eagerness to try and find some space in there and do something with it. Vinny's won the ball and then immediately lost it. De Bruyne squares it, and thankfully Arnell's in the way to get rid of it. I can't believe it. We really could have been 1-0 up there on the brink of half-time. Sheffield United haven't won a trophy since 1925. This would be the first time in 99 years that they'd won any silverware that wasn't like the playoffs or something similar. An actual, genuine mainstream cup. We got 45 minutes to try and make the dream come true. He wasn't to be fooled by that, was he? Phil Foden's pass is intercepted by Christophe Royer. And then Kevin De Bruyne decides he wants to intercept it. Haaland's past Harry Maguire. Vinicel's not quick either. Ahmedhodzic. Wes Foderingham. No, don't! It's the same bloody thing as the last game against Tottenham. I'm trying to block the shot. He's had his shot and then just run into me on the floor afterwards. He's just landed on me. It's not a penalty. You shithouse game. Man. Haaland. Yes, Wes! Justice! Get out! Try and Panenka me, will you son of a bitch? Ruben. Foden. Haaland. Bernardo Silva. We're looking for a worldie. Wes at full stretch to get there. The second half is going the same way as the first, but even from the penalty spot, Manchester United just can't get the ball in the back of the net. Bugger. Yes, Wes! League One Wes continually doing the job. Vinny. The space. Max low. It's over here. No. Edge of the box. No. Win it, Vinny. No. Win it, Vinny. Tijani. Harmer. Our first shot of the game in the 88th minute. Saved comfortably by Edison. Vinny, that's terrible. Vinny, that's terrible. Haaland. Rodrigo. The squared ball back. No! The breakthrough at last. Erling Haaland's right foot. He's like, thank the Lord. It finally came. Manchester City 1. Sheffield United 0. Great from Rodrigo. And just shot powers enough to beat Wes. Fortunately, Manchester City will finish in the top 2. So we'll get Champions League football. So just by making the final, I think we'll get Europa Conference League football next year. but we won't go home with the silverware. We held on as long as we could. We held on for 90 minutes. But there was some stoppage time. And that's when Haaland pounced. Oh, I don't want to watch them lift that. 13 shots to 1. If ever anyone deserved to win a cup final, I think it was them then, don't you? Oh, Christ. I didn't have a single shot to the 88th minute. And then as soon as I was like, oh, I had a shot, maybe we stand a chance. From that shot, the next attack Manchester City had, they went and won the game. All right. I'm pretty sure that puts us in the Europa Conference League next season anyway. But like we say, we have ambitions, maybe, finishing in a Europa League spot. Although we are down to 8th now, but with a game in hand and can go back up to 6th should we win that game in hand. And will only be a maximum of 3 points behind Arsenal if we can win that game in hand. The Champions League is still there if we want it. And we do want it. But it's Burton next. And I'm just going to sim this. And we should get ourselves through to the next round of the FA Cup. Chat's telling me that losing the final doesn't get me to the Europa Conference League. I thought if you lost the final and the team that won it had a European spot already in a higher competition, that the European spot went to the losing team. But I think you might be right. It does go to an extra league position, doesn't it? Because that's how we got it with Southampton in that save. By finishing 7th or 8th or something. Oh, man. We're going to need to win a cup. If we want European football. Potentially. But we do look like we're going to challenge for it in the league. At least. So, fingers crossed we can still pull it off. And have European football of some description next season. We are dominating against Burton here. Oh, and we score! Tijani Reinders. That was... It moved so quickly you could barely even see the ball. That was possibly the hardest struck long shot we've seen, certainly in a simulated game, for a very long time. In like a flash. We lead by a goal to 0. Well, that does still happen in the FA Cup, does it? So the losing FA Cup finalist will still get the Europa League spot if the winning side is in the Champions League. But in the Carabao Cup, that isn't the case. And it goes to an extra league position, does it? Or conflicting reports from live chat. I'm going to have a Google, I think. Both go to the league, do they? Both go to the league. All right. Come on. This is my full strength 11. How are we only winning? Never mind. 1-0 against Burton Albion. We're not. It's 2-0. Thank you, Tuba. Just in time. Well, it looks like Burton's fantastic cup run is going to come to an end in the 5th round. And we're going to head into the quarterfinals of the FA Cup. We certainly do. We deserve to as well. Brighton beat Bournemouth in a battle of the South Coast. And then it's Leicester, Wolves, Fulham, Spurs, City, Villa, Newcastle, Swansea, Arsenal, Palace, Manchester United, Southampton in the rest of the 5th round. Will be a quarter-final place for us. 7 emails. Our match is rescheduled for the FA Cup. That's fine. Please, can we have a £1 million plus player? I'm desperate for one. We haven't had one all season. All save even in 2 seasons nearly now. Give me something. Please. I was hoping Brazil would be a hotbed of young talent. It hasn't even been remotely close to a hotbed of young talent. Where is everybody that's any good? There's no youngsters in the world at the minute. Everybody's rubbish. City, Villa, Everton, Forest and Palace. As we head towards the end of the season, Champions League spot is available for us in the league should we be able to put together the form. I think the City game might be our game in hand, which is not ideal. Not the sort of game I want for my game in hand, to be honest. I'll show you the rest of the table. City second, but we'll go joint top again with Manchester United should they win that game in hand against me, which we anticipate that they will. Oh, Top 4 is definitely still a thing. It's definitely still possible. There's a big gap from 9th to 10th, so we certainly won't finish any lower than 9th. But we want to finish top 4. At the bottom, Norwich are down. They're 7 points from safety and probably screwed. But Palace, Leicester and Fulham all on the same amount of points. It's going to be a bit of a battle for those relegation spots, or to avoid those relegation spots, just as there's going to be a hell of a battle at the top. That's all for this one. Thank you very much for watching. Drop the video a like, subscribe to the channel, follow me on Twitch. I'll see you next time.